Why your joint isn't repaired. The main mistake every morning, while you are still sleeping. Inside the program is launched in your joints self-healing. It works smoothly. 40 minutes. In these 40 minutes, your own body is capable of repairing itself microcracks in the cartilage, grow new cells, and expel inflammation. But 9 out of 10 people, after 50, turn off this mechanism with one simple action and don't even suspect it. Japanese rheumatologists at the University of Kyoto proved cartilage is capable of recovery at any age, even 60, at least 75. The problem is not wear and tear, not age, and not in the deposition of salts, as you scared me since childhood. The problem is that you deprive yourself with your own hands every day your joint right to repair. My name is Roman Igorevich Tlyashev. I am a doctor with 20 years of experience. Today I'll tell you about a Japanese method that returns money to people in 3 to 4 months mobility, even for those who have already undergone surgery, prescribed prosthetics. And most importantly, I'll explain what one action you need stop today before lunch. I'll start with the dogma that has deceived you for 50 years that you were most likely deceived. Moreover, they deceived for a long time, for 30 years, and someone in all 50, the phrase cartilage is being restored. This needs to come to terms with it. This is medical dogma. 70s of the last century. It is taught in educational institutions, written in textbooks, and is still repeated today in district clinics. But science, she went far ahead, but the textbooks didn't follow her. We made it. In 2018, at Kyoto University, a group of Japanese rheumatologists published a work that turned the world upside down, the whole idea of the joint. They took samples of cartilage tissue from people aged 50 to 80 years and found living active cells in them, repair cells. Not dead, not sleeping, working, just working with the switch was turned off. The body wanted repair the joint, he could repair the joint, but they didn't give it to me. Here at my reception many freeze because they have been there all their lives, they said. Age, deformation, prosthesis, but it turns out that repairs are possible in any age, whether 60, 75, or 80. Valentina Sergeyevna. Surgery canceled 3 months in advance. I'll tell you about Valentina Sergeyevna, 72 years old, came to my office, leaning for 2. They held the daughter on both sides and son-in-law. Diagnosis, stage 3 gonarthrosis right knee. In the regional hospital, she already put on the waiting list endoprosthetics. Surgery in 4 months. Pain that I couldn't sleep at night, got up, walked around the kitchen, cried. The picture shows a narrowing of the gap, osteophytes, everything is as it should be. It's supposed to be at stage 3. I looked, her tests, asked about the day from the first glass of water in the morning to the last pills in the evening, and realized that this woman unworn joint. She has it every day, the same one turns off 4 or 5 times repair program, and so for many years. We didn't prescribe her any injections or new ones. Drugs. We just removed one action, the very one that she, like half of my patients, I thought harmless and even useful. In 6 weeks, Valentina Sergeyevna understood I have to go to the office myself, without my daughter and without son-in-law. After 3 months, she canceled the operation. And here is the question you are asking now. You're probably asking yourself, what is this? Action. I'll name it specifically, the numbers will be a little later. For now, let's figure out who these people are. Kaifuku window, 40 minutes to repair cells inside your joint, and how is the mechanism that you probably turn it off every morning with their own hands. Scientifically, they are called chondrocytes, but the word is complex. Let me explain with a picture. Imagine a large construction site. Not the one where the equipment rattles during the day, and the one where it works night shift. Quiet workers in overalls, with tools. They don't build new things. Building, they are renovating the old one, patching it up, cracks in the walls, replacing the leaky one's tiles, touch up the corners, work carefully, without noise, only in certain hours. Came to change, they worked and left. That's how yours is set up. Joint. Inside the cartilage tissue, there are millions of these night workers. Every night until you sleep, they go out on shift, find microcracks. They appear daily, it's normal, like scratches on a pan from a spoon, and they patch them up. Collagen type 2, hyaluronic acid, protoglycans, building blocks, cartilage materials. Their peak performance is at 5 until 7 a.m. And the main activity window, those same 40 minutes right after awakening. The Japanese called this window kaifuku, recovery window. It's in these 40 minutes the chondrocytes work with maximum performance. If you give them the right signal, they fix it. Joint. If it's rough and sharp, they stop working for the whole day. What launches their work? 3 things. The first is warmth. The temperature of the joint should rise 15 to 2 degrees above night. The second is a soft movement without load, without impacts. Third, hydration. Water, which comes into the joint through the blood the first 20 to 30 minutes after waking up. What's stopping you? There are 3 things here too. Most of my patients are over 50. In the morning, they do exactly the opposite. They jump up on the alarm clock, they get up abruptly and go to cold kitchen. Drink a cup of hot coffee, and after 30 minutes they are already out of at home and sincerely do not Understand why 50 birds they have age, deformation, prosthesis. They just didn't give it to their repairmen to go on shift. Day after day after day, year after year, decade after decade. Now imagine 40 minutes a day, a total of 40 minutes. Multiply for 365 days, multiply by 20 years. This is hundreds of thousands of hours of undone repairs. The bore didn't wear out. The bore just no one fixed it. The main enemy, cartilage's main enemy. A pill in your purse recovery is not about age, not about load and no salt deposits, which does not exist in medicine at all. This is folk myth. The main enemy is chronic microinflammation, and it starts more often not an infection, not an injury, but anti-inflammatory pill. Yes, you heard right. The very one you drink from the knee, from the back, from the shoulder, the one that is in every second woman's handbag women, over 50 diclofenac, ibuprofen, nemisolate, Kitarol. All this the group is called NSAIDs. And here's what they are, they actually do it. Tablet, it really does relieve pain. For 3-4 hours. It's easier for you. But at the same time, it blocks an enzyme that is involved not only in inflammation, but also in the synthesis of new cartilage. One tablet of diclofenac stops the work of chondrocytes for approximately 12 hours. One tablet, if you take it twice a day, repairs are not going on at all. Never. The joint lives in a mode where the pain is muted, but the rate of destruction accelerated threefold. You know, I've been talking about this for 30 years. To patients at the reception. Now I say here to reach those who I haven't reached the doctor yet. If it matters to you, subscribe to the channel. I go out every week. And now let's continue. I'll tell you about Anatoly Pavlovich, 64 years old, former Anatoly Pavlovich, 10 years of diclofenac truck driver. Came here with a knee, 10 years, think about it, I drank diclofenac. First, 1 tablet at a time, then 2, then 3. Doctor, without I don't even get out of bed with them. I brought pictures from 5 years ago and recent ones. I laid them out next to each other. In the old photo, first stage of arthrosis, slight narrowing, and that's all. Ideally, supportive therapy, movement, nutrition, and joints would be another 20 I served for years. In a recent photo after 10 years of tablets third stage with obvious deformation, the bore is practically absent. Bone rubs against bone. Anatoly Pavlovich looked and remained silent. Then he asked, "What if I didn't drink?" I said honestly, "Today we would be sitting with you not in my office but over tea. The joint would be alive. That's the price. Painkiller pill, instant relief, and 10 years of unfulfilled repairs." And the question immediately arises, what then? What to do with the pain? Endure it? No. Endure it. It's not possible, that's also a mistake. The pain itself, it slows down its own regeneration. There is another one. Path. The Japanese call it the quiet path. And it starts not with a pill but with microloads. Special movements that will have mandrocytes and relieve inflammation without any chemicals. We remove the pill. Why the gym is killing your joints, what we replace it with. And here is where most of my patients make the second big mistake. They think, if the pill is bad, then I need to get active. I'll sign up for a gym, I'll start walking 10,000 steps, squat 100 times a day. No, please start. Please don't start. Especially if you are over 50 and the joint already makes itself known. You will make yourself worse, faster, more painful, and possibly irreversible. When the cartilage is already damaged, any impact load, running, jumping, deep squats, step aerobics. This is as if you were trying to repair. You don't fix a cracked vase with a hammer, you're finishing it off. The hepatocytes aren't just not, they work under such a load. They fall into a state of stress and begin secrete substances that destroy cartilage around itself. The joint is protected, the joint is afraid, and you do it with your own hands, transform the first stage into the third 6 months of active training. The Japanese approach to this question differently. They have the philosophical concept of kaizen, translated about like a small improvement each day. In medicine, they applied the same principle. No jerk, no feet, no sport mode, and tiny, almost an imperceptible movement that is repeated Japanese kaizen principle. A drop of oil for the loop regularly. Here's an analogy. Imagine an old door hinge that started at creaks and sticks. What do they do with it? Drop 1 drop of oil and carefully move the door back and forth, quietly, slowly, without effort. The drop spreads, lubricates metal, the loop moves smoothly again. And if instead of a drop of oil, you take a door and you will start to open it sharply and slam, the loop will break finally. Your joint is the one loop. Oil is synovial liquid, and the quiet movement is what will be chondrocytes. Remember the difference between the words movement and a burden for the rest of my life. Load is when the joint resists weight, impact, force movements when the joint simply changes position smoothly, without resistance. The load destroys the diseased cartilage. Movement feeds it. I had patient Tamara Nikolaevna, 68 years old. Her daughter gave her a season ticket to fitness club. "Mom, you need to move." Mom started walking at 3 months old. Swollen to the state of a melon came to "I'm in tears. I did everything right." We cleared the room and gave 7 minutes of silence. Movement in the morning. After 8 weeks, swelling left. After 4 months, she returned to a vegetable garden I haven't seen for 2 summers. Minutes, 5 movements. Without a haul, without inventory, no money. Specific, I'll give the protocol a little later. For now, next question. Do you make quiet ones? Movements? The mandrocytes come out to replace, and then you go to the kitchen, start groaning, and one. With Azafracom, you reduce all repairs to 0. 3 products that block repairs. Because there are 3 products that 90% of you have them in your kitchen right now, and each of them blocks the synthesis of cartilage a specific number of hours. Product number 1 is sugar. Not the cake kind, not chocolate, but the sugar that you put it in your tea. 2 spoons in the morning, 2 during the day, a spoon in the evening. 5 spoons a day. The average person's norm after 50, and now the number. Each a teaspoon of sugar triggers a splash insulin, and against this background, the chondrocytes freeze for about 90 minutes. 1 spoon, 1.5 hours of simple repair. 5 spoons, 7 per hour. If you drink tea with sugar from morning to evening, the joint is not repaired at all. I ask you to refuse forever. I ask remove sugar from tea, at least from morning, at least at that very moment 40-minute window. Product number 2, sunflower oil. The one you use fry potatoes, dress the salad, it contains a huge amount of omega-6 fatty acids. In the doses in which there is an average resident of our countries, they are converted into fuel for inflammation. 1 tablespoon refined sunflower oil shifts the balance towards inflammation for about 6 hours. The mandrocytes sit in an inflammatory environment and do not work they can. Replace it with cold olive oil, pressed flaxseed, melted butter. Not never fry in sunflower oil. Product number 3, sausage. Any boiled, smoked sausages, frankfurters, ham from sachet. It contains phosphates, food additives that retain moisture and give that very pink, smooth texture. Phosphates draw calcium out of bones and block its absorption. But the main thing is that they launch the system inflammation of low intensity, but chronic. 1 serving of sausage is 100 grams. Maintains an inflammatory background for approximately 12 hours. 2 servings per day. 24-hour inflammation. Around the clock, the repair is off. I'll tell you about Galina Mikhailovna, 60 years old, came with a complaint. Doctor, I'm doing everything right. I do gymnastics, walk, swim, take pills I don't drink, but my knees still hurt. I asked her to describe a typical day. In the morning, sandwich with sausage and tea with sugar. Lunch, salad with sunflower oil. Evening, another sandwich. And so on every day. For decades, we have added nothing. We just removed these 3 products. After 10 weeks ago, Galina Mikhailovna called me myself. Doctor, I forgot which knee I have. I was in pain. I forgot, the joint he fixed himself when he just stopped interfering. And here arises next question. What about collagen in jars? The whole truth about collagen in jars, chondroitin with glucosamine from the advertisement? Buy it at the pharmacy and let the cartilage grow. So, collagen in jars, chondroitin, glucosamine, marine, fish beef powder, in capsules and drinking ampoules. 2,000 rubles per pack, 5,000 after TV commercials, from pharmacies on the corner, from a friend's advice buy. 9 out of 10 of mine patients are bought after 50, and 9 out of 10 of these purchases wasted money. I'll explain now why. When you swallow a capsule with collagen, your stomach is full of salt acid, breaks it down into amino acids. To put it simply, on the letter of the alphabet. The body receives a set of letters, and what does it from these letters will be collected, no longer yours decision and not the decision of the dietary supplement manufacturer. The body will collect what it needs now. Most needed. Skin on the heel, ache, hair, vessel shell. And lastly, Q, if there is enough material and if there's a signal, cartilage. That means you pay 8 zeros in rubles so that you can, perhaps, my nails grew a little better. Why not? Result for the joint? Because there is none commands build cartilage. And the command is given, not a pill. The team is movement, that same quiet morning kaifuku in the window. So what to do? Accept, but not that. Not from there. The Japanese eat collagen from ordinary simple peasant food. First aspic, herring, glycine, 300 rubles per week, rich bone broth. Cooks for 6-8 hours. Hours on low heat. From beef, chicken, or pork bones, with joints, with cartilage, with skin. 1 cup this broth gives the body 40 times more absorbable collagen than a capsule for 8,000. The Japanese drink it 3 or 4 times a day. Once a week. We called it aspic and cooked for the holidays. Return jellied meat is not a holiday in life, but once in a lifetime week. Second. Glycine, the simplest and a cheap amino acid at the pharmacy. It's worth it. Copex. This is a building brick for cartilage tissue. And it is this one that is most often everything is missing after 50. 1 tablet under the tongue in the morning, 1 in the evening, 5 rubles per day. And thirdly, fish. The Japanese eat it 3 times a week at least, but not any. They need fatty cold water mackerel, sardine, herring. Our usual herring is an ideal product for joints, contains omega-3 fatty acids which extinguish that very inflammation. We carry, yes, just in time from the restaurant. Herring from jars. 3 times a week. We put them together. Picture. Broth, glycine, herring. In total, 300 rubles a week. And that's it. Works many times more efficiently than everything else dietary supplements from advertising taken together. Now your cartilage is a sponge. About water. Advice: drink almost 2 liters a day. Doesn't work for the joint. Or rather, it works, but not the way you think. Imagine a kitchen sponge, dry, hard, brittle, cracks when squeezed, soaked in water, soft and elastic. Yours A-bore is a sponge. There is water in it. Synovial fluid. When you're young, the sponge is 80% saturated with water. After 50% by 40-50, sometimes less. The joint crunches, clicks, creaks, etc. because salts were deposited there and because the sponge has dried out. The bone is rubbing about the bone through the dried tissue. From here crunching, hence the morning stiffness. The main mistake. Most of my patients drink like this. Get up and have a cup of coffee, tea in a couple of hours, soup for lunch, another cup of tea in the evening. Doctor, I'm drinking. 15 to 2 years. Only one joint from these 1.5 liters receives almost nothing. Why? Because water works for the joint only in one mode, when it comes quickly, on an empty stomach, and at the right time. That same 40-minute window of kaifuku awakening. If in these 40 minutes the body receives clean, warm water, non-carbonated water, it literally fills the synovial capsule, sponge soaks in. If coffee or tea is supplied or nothing, the joint remains dry until the first cup of water. A minute-by-minute diagram: 250 ml of warm water is normal cup. The temperature is about the same as steamed milk, 37-38 degrees. Drink slowly in small sips within 5-7 minutes immediately after waking up, before going to the toilet, before cleaning teeth, to any other liquid, and wait 40 minutes before drinking coffee or tea. That's the whole scheme. I'll tell you about Mikhail Yegorovich, 69 years old, complained about morning stiffness in the hip joint. While it dissipates, half an hour shuffling around the apartment. Analysis of the day. First, liquid coffee immediately after waking up. Nothing changed except one thing. The cup. Warm water in the morning and coffee after 40 minutes. 3 weeks later, my wife called and she said, "Doctor, he's stopped shuffling. Week's glass of water. And it doesn't work because water is good for you, but because you finally started feeding the sponge then, when it is open to absorption. Drink the rest of the water throughout the day as needed. If we got used to it, it would be at least 1.5 liters. But these first 250 milliliters are sacred. It's more important than any pill or any dietary supplement." Morning protocol. 7 minutes, 5 moves. Now the specific protocol is 7 minutes, 5 movements. It is done in the morning, immediately after cups of warm water before breakfast at home close. If you have a bed, there is everything you need. First movement, cat's tail. You are lying on your back in bed, knees bent, feet on mattress. Start very slowly, gently. Swing your knees right and left. Amplitude small, palm in each direction, no more. As if you were a kitten or a field, wag your tail. 1 minute. This is a signal. Good morning for the hip joint. The second movement is an opening book for shoulder girdle. Remain in bed, on side. Arms are extended in front of you, palms to the palm. Slowly lift the top hand and take it behind your back, opening at chest. How to unfold page of the book. The head turns behind hand and also slowly back 8 once in one direction. Turn over 8 times in another. 1.5 minutes. Movement 3. Raising the invisible ball. Sit on the edge of the bed. Place your feet on the floor. Hands in front of you, as if you are holding a large invisible ball the size of a watermelon. Slowly raise the ball to chest level, and also slowly lower your shoulders. Relaxed, breathing calmly. 10 repetitions, 1.5 minutes. Movement 4th. Crane. Stand next to bed. Hold on with one hand back or behind the wall. Move slowly, weight on one leg, the other bent at knees. Raise them forward about a few centimeters, 20 from the floor. Hold for 3 seconds. Lower 10 times on one leg, 10 on the other. 1.5 minutes. 5th movement. Final warm palms. Sit on edge of the bed. Rub firmly and quickly. Palm, 20-30 seconds. Palms become hot. And these hot with your palms, you grasp each one in turn the joint that bothers you. Knee 10 seconds, second 10 seconds, lower back 10 seconds, shoulder 10 seconds. This is the signal: I remember you, I warm you. And that the highest temperature rise was 1.5 degrees minute, that's it, 7 minutes. If in the process any movement causes sharp pain, stop signal, not through pain, not be patient, it will work out, reduce it. The amplitude is twice as large. If at low the amplitude hurts, remove this movement for a week, do the other 4. Try again in a week. Now weekly recovery calendar of changes. Most of my patients are abandoned at the 3rd week. Exactly when before the first the result lasts for several days. He quits because no one cares for him, explained. The joint is not the stomach and not skin. The joint responds slowly, but answers without fail. First week. No, expect nothing. Nothing will change. You will do it for 7 minutes in the morning, drink warm water, remove sugar and sausage, and joint it will hurt just as much as it did before. Many people at this point say, well, I knew it didn't help. Don't quit. The first week is a reconnaissance of the body. The hepatocytes are slowly going out of order sleep. Synovial fluid begins pump up. Everything starts working inside. It's quiet outside for now. Second week. The first gift. The morning leaves. Stiffness. You wake up and your legs don't like 2 logs. You get up and don't shuffle to the kitchen. This is the first signal. Repairs it started. Third and fourth week. The night pain goes away. The same one, because of which you woke up and walked around kitchen. The joint stops aching in the weather, the clicking and crunching noises remain. They will go away later, but the pain goes away. During this period, some experience a mild exacerbation 3 to 4 days. Don't worry, this is normal. The tissue is rebuilt. Mandrocytes, they are working actively. There is a short term, the surge in exchange will pass by itself. The main thing is don't grab a pill these days. No cross out 21 days of work. 5th and week 6, amplitude returns. You suddenly notice that without effort bent down, tied the laces, took out jar from the top shelf. 2nd and 3rd month. The joint enters a stable state. Recovery, the crunch goes away, appears what the Japanese call forgetting. You forget which knee you had pain in. 2 last cases. The first is the knee. 2 cases. Lyudmila and Victor. Lyudmila Vasilyevna, 70 years old, arthrosis right knee stage 2, came with a cane. After 8 weeks, I forgot about the cane. Me in the office, left without her. After 6 months, walked 15 kilometers with her group Kareli. The second case is the shoulder. Victor Anatolievich, 66 years old, former welder, the right shoulder did not rise above the level breasts. After 10 weeks, I got it from mezzanine old instruments and returned to his favorite thing. He makes benches on dacha. But I must warn you about the last mistake that undoes everything. Last mistake, break. As soon as the joint stops hurting, the patient thinks, okay, I'm healthy, I can relax. Quits for 7 minutes, returns sugar, drinks tea again instead of water, and after 6-8 weeks, the pain comes back with vengeance. It's not that the method doesn't work, it's that you stopped to apply it. The Japanese say it briefly, a method is not a course. It is a way of life. 2 lists, what to do and what not to do. Let's get together in one picture, what not to do never. Don't take painkillers every day. One-time use for unbearable pain, yes. In a course for months for prevention. Never start your morning with coffee or tea. First a cup of warm water and 40 minutes silence. Don't put sugar in your morning tea. Do not fry in sunflower oil. Do not buy sausage for breakfast. Don't run to the gym if your joint hurts. Don't waste money on it. Expensive collagen in jars. Cook it jellied meat, buy some herring, take some glycine at the pharmacy for pennies. Don't throw it away when it will become easier. The method works as long as you do it. What to do every day. Woke up. A cup of warm water. 7 minutes. 5 movements. 40 minutes without coffee, without food, no cigarettes. Then breakfast without sugar, no sausage, no fried food, sunflower. During the day, 15 to 2 liters of water. Fish 3 times a week. Jellied meat once a week. Glycine in the morning and evening. In the evening, don't stay up until midnight. Late in 10. At 11. Your repair will begin at 5 a.m. He needs you to sleep. And, finally, a final story. Nikolai Petrovich, 78 years old. The final story. Petrovich, 78 years old, came to my office 2 years ago, leaning on a stick. He said, "Doctor, I was told my age is more. There's nothing to be done. Live as long as you can. Life is good. Stay at home." And he spent his whole life was a table maker. We started from scratch with a cup warm water for 7 minutes. Removed sugar from tea. He resisted. I've been with, they removed the sugar, they put the jellied meat on table instead of sausage. Glycine twice a day. For the first 3 weeks he called his daughter. What nonsense. This doctor of yours nothing, it doesn't help. On the 4th week he fell silent, and on the 8th day he called me himself, said one phrase. I got up with stools and didn't notice that he stood up. Now 2 years later, Nikolai Petrovich is working in his workshop again, makes stools, boxes, wooden spoons. I forgot the stick somewhere at the dacha, no remembers where. He's 78. His joint was worn out, aged, impossible restore. The joint didn't know these words. The joint began to repair itself. As soon as it stopped interfering, yours will start to any age. There's only one question. Will you give him this chance or not? My name is Roman Igorevich Tlyashev. Take care. Take care of yourself, take care of your joints, and see you later next week.